What are some things you'd only know by growing up poor? When I was a kid, there were days the house felt like a ticking bomb. Sometimes it was quiet, sometimes not. But even the quiet made me anxious. I never really knew when or if my parents were going to show up. And when they did, it wasn't always a good thing. I never had a key, just waited to see if the door would be unlocked. Usually it was. Sometimes they left food, sometimes not. Sometimes they were home and screaming. Sometimes I didn't see them for days. It was worse after school. That after-school hour where other kids went home to snacks or cartoons, I just wandered. Eventually, I started going to the public library. It was quiet, warm, safe. Nobody yelled there. Nobody grabbed your arm too hard or told you to stop acting weird. Just aisles of books and quiet adults. I'd stay until they closed most nights. I wasn't a huge reader at first. I just liked the peace. Then I started reading. Fantasy books at first. Stuff with maps and dragons. Escapism, probably. Then sci-fi, then a few biographies. I didn't care what it was, I just wanted to be somewhere else for a while. I'd sit in the far back corner where nobody could bother me. I didn't make noise. I didn't make a mess. I just disappeared into books. One of the librarians eventually noticed me. Her name was Nancy. She didn't try to talk to me at first. She just started shelving books closer and closer to where I sat, humming softly as she worked. She started putting new fantasy books in the recommended slot on the end cap near my spot. Then one day she asked me if I'd read a certain series. I shrugged. She said, "It's got a dragon, but the dragon's kind of a jerk. You'll like it." That was our first real conversation. Things built slowly from there. I didn't talk much, but she didn't seem to mind. She never pressed. She just started saying hi when I walked in. One day, I saw her at the McDonald's across the street after closing. I was trying to buy a burger with change, but I was short by like 30 cents. I was asking strangers in line if they had a quarter. When I saw her come in, I ducked out. I was mortified. Next day at the library, she didn't say anything about it. Just came by my desk and dropped a pack of peanut butter crackers next to my book. "Extras from the break room," she said. Next day, it was a can of Sprite and a granola bar. Same story, extras. But I heard the vending machine clunking in the staff room once and figured it out. She was buying them herself. Eventually, she just started bringing full meals, chicken sandwiches, fruit cups, sometimes leftovers in Tupperware. She'd eat with me in the break room after the library closed. She never pried, just talked about books or asked about school. I told her about my parents eventually. I think she already knew most of it. She nodded like it was something she'd heard before. One week before school started again, I showed up like usual. At the end of the night, she said, "Wait for me out front." We walked to her car. She popped the trunk and pulled out a brand new backpack. Inside was a binder, a folder, some pens and pencils, and a brand new outfit: jeans, a hoodie, socks, and a pair of Nikes. My first real pair of shoes that weren't hand-me-downs or from the church box. That's when I broke. Everything I'd been holding in for years just came out. I cried right there in the parking lot while she stood quietly, not saying anything, just letting it happen. That was probably the first time I felt like someone saw me, really saw me, and gave a damn. She stayed in my life after that. 3 years. She supported me as much as she could. She didn't have money. She was a single woman working at a public library. But she gave me more than anyone ever had. She helped me through the worst parts of that house. She helped connect me to a caseworker. She showed up to court when I started the process of getting adopted, sat behind me at every hearing. She was there at my high school graduation. She met the family that took me in. She danced at my wedding. She watched me grow up into someone that didn't have to hide in the back corner of the library anymore. Someone who got out. She passed away last summer. I sat in the front row at her funeral right next to her niece. When people stood up to speak, I did too. I told them about the peanut butter crackers, about the books with dragons, about the backpack. I told them she saved my life. I still donate to the library every year, quietly, anonymously, for the kid who just needs a warm room, a safe corner, and someone like Nancy.